Episode 30.
Yep.
Halfway through season 3 now.
Ooh.
A rich find. Would you like to briefly explain the events of a rich find?
Okay, so this episode picks up immediately after the last one.
It's the morning now. That was night when Hearst got arrested.
Yep. Hearst is arrested by Bullock, who pulls him in by his ear, which we say throughout the whole episode.
Yeah.
You know. And a lot of the tension of the episode comes from kind of that, and Hearst getting out and how he's going to react to being thrown in prison.
Yep.
It's like a hostile attempt. And most of this episode is about all the different characters' reactions to Hearst being thrown in prison by Bullock, and a big kind of overriding theme of this episode is a lot of people are starting to accept that the end is coming.
That violence is inevitable and the end is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. That like the town protectors, or sorry, the camp protectors like Al and Seth, basically.
Yeah.
They can't defend the town anymore. A lot of them are beginning to accept that the promise and the lack of laws in Deadwood is now ending, and they have to accept the inevitability of their fate.
Yep.
Also, Auntie Lou's son turns up.
Yeah. O'Dale.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And she's a bit suspect about why he's here. He wants to proposition Mr. Hearst about a gold claim in
Liberia.
In Africa.
Yeah.
And she is distraught with the fact that her son is wanting to work with
George Hearst.
And she's his nanny. I want to be really careful about the terminology I'm using.
Yeah.
But
she's his cook.
Yeah, his cook. Yeah.
Yeah. Who essentially acts like a sort of maid figure. They have a really weird relationship. Yeah.
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 And essentially, she doesn't want to see her son, work for Mr. Hearst and completely, destroy himself.
Yep.
So the big that's pretty much it. I think that the big overriding theme of this episode is the acceptance of inevitability. And in a slightly smaller scale from not really explored that much is the stuff with Alma.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ellsworth has pretty much left her now after the really awkward sequence where Alma tries to have sex with him.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, it's not going to work.
No.
And she's now taking opium again.
Yep.
Sai is feeding opium to her through Leon.
Leon, yeah.
In an attempt to kill her, basically, and try and get her claim the gold.
Yeah.
So the stars are aligning a little bit in Deadwood, as the inevitability of the ending is coming.
Yes. And very prescient episode. They didn't know they were going to get cancelled, but now is it over for us? It's well, it is over for you.
Yes, that's it now.
You couldn't live in this world, Deadwood. You are too pure for us. Yes. So, what do you think of A Rich Find?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think it's maybe my favourite one of the season so far.
It's a really good episode, yeah.
It's I've expressed my disappointment with season 3 so far a little bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier, but my main gripes of season 3 is that we're not doing anything really new with the characters. The kind of characters that we know and love, but we're not really doing anything new with them. So that's been forcing them into this difficult situation, how they all react to it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as thematically strong.
No.
I think Hearst is better as a villain, but it's an abstract concept.
Yeah.
And then when we reveal him, it's a bit like, he's alright.
I agree at this point, but I think he comes into his own in the very next episode, actually.
That's good.
Yes.
And this episode is kind of starting to turn my opinion around a little bit.
Yep.
I stand by the first 5 episodes, while great.
Yep.
They kind of ride the line between like an 8 out of 10 series so far.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem I think with the early half is it's all about powerlessness and the characters being they don't know what to do. And even though that might be thematically appropriate, they don't know what to do. It doesn't make it dramatically very
It's not very exciting to watch.
But this episode, they are starting to do things and to react to Hearst.
You see, it's like... Yeah. I'm going to compare it to another HBO show.
Yeah.
The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So The Sopranos, they can have episodes where nothing happens and it's engaging, as interesting as a plot-heavy episode. Probably more interesting than a plot-heavy episode.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily got anything wrong with episodes where not much happens. I like that kind of thing. I just don't think the stuff that replace it with is as interesting.
I agree, yeah.
I don't care about the theatre troupe.
No.
Hearst, I don't know, he's just not done it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, she chopped off Al's finger, sure, but I don't know, it doesn't really have it in my head.
Yeah.
About why I take interest in such a small, crappy town. I know there's money to be made.
Yep.
But surely it'd be better set it up in somewhere like, a bigger, more established town.
That comes into play in the next episode.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
He becomes a fascinating character in the next episode, just through the use of one absolutely stunningly written speech. It's like a skeleton key to his whole character.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yes.
well, I look forward to that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's some things I've been adding in my head about Hearst.
Yeah.
And this episode doesn't alleviate that, but it sounds like the next one will do. But I know I really enjoyed this episode quite a lot. Actually, I thought this was a really great one.
It's a great episode, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, the thematic concern of season 3 is coming through in this season, because the whole season is about what these characters do when they see the end at hand. Basically, the Deadwood of the first 2 seasons is dying. There's no way they can continue to be a lawless town. They either have to, as they bring up in the episode, adopt laws, or they have to go all guns blazing out with Hearst, which will leave nothing left. And it's all about how the characters, they feel for the people that are in the town. I
think the centrepiece of this episode is the amazing speech Charlie Utter makes.
Yes, that's great.
That's like the centrepiece of the episode, where it basically says, if this is our fate, we either literally stick to our guns and go out guns blazing, or we accept the inevitability of our fates and what we've fought for and built for over the last couple of years.
Yep.
Or we go out guns blazing.
Yep.
Which is, it chills, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this episode really makes it's like a really strong later season one and all, because it make you care so much because of the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
That's why there's some stakes involved. So it's much quieter and slower than the ones in season 1, especially, and even season 2. But yes, it's got nice moments in and all, which I think that some of the other ones in the season have been lacking.
I think so, yeah.
I love the scene where Leon talks to himself in the pond.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
It's just a really weird, quiet, sort of borderline philosophical discussion where he's adopting himself and also Tolliver.
Yeah.
And it's this really weird, great scene where he's clearly high, but it's a tertiary character doing something new.
Yeah.
Because Leon at this point has just been he's an idiot, isn't he?
He's a comical side character.
He's the fool character along with Con Stapleton, but now he reveals depth to himself.
Yeah.
He cares about the town just like everybody else and doesn't want to see it raised because of Hearst. Yeah, that's a great scene. I love the scene where Al and Trixie have the talk.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
Because those two have been not really. I don't think there's been a scene with them as they yet in the season.
Not yet.
She's been at the hardware store.
And only Ian McShane can say a line like, "Get the fuck out of here, you loopy cunt with any kind of gravitas."
Yeah.
It's just
It'd just be ridiculous otherwise, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, maybe Powers Booth could say it, but
no one else.
No one else could. Ian McShane and Powers Booth could only say those lines.
Exactly. Yes. The two Al Swearingen.
Yeah, the two Al's.
Yeah. More Powers Booth in this episode as well.
Yes, he clearly Powers Booth was well now, so he could walk and talk at the same time.
Squawk with the animals.
Yeah, squawk. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, really, what would you give this episode out of 10?
It's a 9.
I think it's a 9.
Yeah, it's better than the previous episodes for me. I don't remember what I gave previous episodes, but
you did actually give one a 10.
Did I?
The second episode, the one where Al gets his finger cut off.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Okay.
But that's a great episode because of all little moments in. Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of actual point enjoyment, it's okay. Well, if I gave one a 10, then I guess it's my second favourite one so far, based on pure clinical scores.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great episode. It's got plenty going on in it. I love Steve the Drunk is just such an awful person.
Yeah.
The scene where Annie Lou's son goes to the what's it called?
The number 10.
The number 10, yeah. And he can't stand the sight of a black man inside the bar, so he has to turn around he's almost like a comical caricature in him more than anything.
Yeah.
He's the only character where I feel that it's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a little bit obviously I know people probably were awfully racist back in those days, but
yeah.
I think he's a little bit when he pulls out the silly faces, it's like
that was a bit much. Yeah.
It's a little bit much, I think, but
yeah.
Other than that, the fact that for me it was a little bit too much for he drove a man to suicide kind of thing. So
yeah. I do love the way that it's sort of his self-loathing is evident though, just through the dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Where he's when he fell on the gun and obviously trying to paint it in a new light because he's tearing himself apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Steve the Drunk. It's weird, isn't it, this season? Because they focus on like Steve the Drunk, but not Cy.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, it's just, they're doing some bizarre decisions. But yeah, this was a real good episode. My problem with the episode, which you won't know yet, is just that it's two-part with the next episode, and the next episode just like blows this one away.
Oh, good.
And like they have the exact same theme, but the second one is like about 1,000,000 times stronger. But yeah, you won't know that yet. I'm sure you'll say that when we watch Unauthorized Cinnamon, the next episode.
Unauthorized Cinnamon.
Yeah, that's an amazing episode title, is that? Yeah, and doesn't it just make? It's like we've got a crowd pleasing moment. This one where it's like get the canned peaches.
Oh yeah, I love that bit. Yeah, it's almost like the calling of the town elders. It's like, you know, when the canned peaches come out, that's when the elders are gathering.
Well, that's what he even says. I think you laughed at the time. I missed it because Johnny, get the camp elders. We're having a meeting.
Oh yeah. It's almost like a call to arms kind of thing. Like, yeah, they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
They're gonna take action. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get EB all over them. Oh, I've not been enough EB this season.
I think though that works in a way because I don't think that he's in it as much because they can't trust him anymore.
That's true.
So I think it makes sense that he wouldn't be around as much.
I still miss him a lot though.
I do miss him a lot. Yeah.
I still think the dog's barely in this season as well either.
No, he's dying.
Yeah, he's probably just coughing and coughing off phlegm somewhere. Yeah, I still kind of miss him a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
I miss the doc. I miss EB. Yeah, you have some good EB moments, but we're not like as funny as they used to be.
No.
But again, it's like, oh, the town's dying, everything's changing. Again, like, I agree with what you said last week about it being like thematically strong, and it all makes sense. But like dramatically as a TV show, it's not as satisfying as like season 2 where it was kind of perfect.
Yeah.
It was like all in tandem. It was dramatic and exciting and thrilling to watch, but at the same time it was deep philosophically and thematically and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is strong thematically and philosophically, just not like as entertainment.
Yes.
Which is a little bit frustrating.
I 100% agree that this... Well, that's the problem, isn't it? How do you follow up like the greatest thing in that medium?
Yeah.
It's like making a sequel to Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
How would you go about doing it?
Because you'd be in the... Because this season even feels in the shadow of season 2 of it.
It literally is, isn't it? Yeah.
I do like the way that they went for something different. It's more like this season, you'll notice when it ends, is structured more like a sort of... Like, I think season 2 is structured like short stories in a way.
Yeah.
You've got this story ends, and like it's thematically keeps everything going, and that's why it's faster paced and all. First 2 are standalone, next 2 are standalone. Everything's got a standalone plot line that resolves.
Yeah. And
there isn't an overriding arc. This is themed more. This is much more like a more novelistic. You've got your first the first 4 episodes are like part 1. Then the next 5 are like part 2, and then it all ends.
Act 2, Act 3.
And then it all ends in a brilliant sort of 3-parter at the end. But that's how it's structured, like that. And I do like the way that they went for something different. But it's just it just isn't as good.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm all for frustrating audiences.
Yeah.
Maybe don't start doing it in your 3rd season.
Yeah.
So, like, again, I don't want to keep comparing.
Well, I don't think they are trying to frustrate the audience, though. I just think that they're like...
I don't know, you see, like, I think they are a little bit.
Really?
Because, like, it's not satisfying dramatically. It should be, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've been denying audiences this big build-up because they're trying to stretch the story out over a whole season.
Yeah.
And I think it could have made a really effective first half of a series.
Yeah.
It's not a full thing.
Well, I think that the reason why notes happened is because that's what they're trying to say. That like, in order for this society to work, they have to sort of try and balance this element rather than have it all explode.
Yeah.
And I think that there is no way that it could be like how do you do this her storyline and make it sort of dramatically satisfying within like 6 episodes or something?
If I have the answer to that, I won't be sitting here. I'd be in Hollywood writing scripts.
I think this is with what they've got. This is about as good as it could possibly be, apart from possibly getting rid of the theatre troupe plotline. I think that this is as good as a season 3 could be with telling this story.
Yeah,
and I do love this story.
I don't. I like it.
Yeah,
but it's not what I found interesting.
Okay.
In Deadwood.
Yeah.
I prefer the short story format.
Yeah.
Where like you get to know each character properly, and like you have like little stories, and they all build up to a bigger thing.
Yeah.
That's what I prefer. I don't think this main storyline's strong enough.
Okay.
To be quite frank.
Okay.
Because obviously it's Deadwood, right? It's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And it's an amazing series. It's just I don't care much for its main story, which is a big problem because it is that's the driving force of season 3.
Yep.
And thematically it all makes sense, but again for me, thematically the whole series ended in season 2.
Yeah.
On a really satisfying note. Like if that was it, I'd have been happy if it ended there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, they know what's coming. When they sign over the town, they know what's coming. And I just like how it ends on this really happy but kind of almost bittersweet moment. That like, oh, this isn't going to last very long.
Yeah. It's so hard to, because I can't. The only way to rebuff that argument is based on what's coming next.
Okay.
So what I'll do is
I'm going to reserve my judgment.
That's fine. We're halfway through, so that's your judgment so far. And yeah, great episode again. But I think at the end of the episode, you may change your mind slightly because there are really interesting things to do at the end that counteract sort of season 2 and things. But yeah, we'll leave a rich find. Any closing notes on a rich find?
No.
No?
No, I think I covered through everything I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I did like that little scene between Hurst and Richardson.
Yes.
Where he's like, "Are you stupid?" He's like trying to antagonise him.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to do to everybody else. The camp, Richardson's like,
Yeah.
"Yep, I'm stupid." Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I also liked EB's little aside as well, where his little peephole. It's almost like a play.
Yeah.
He's like, could it be the hotel he's talking about?
Well, he acts as a Greek chorus.
Yeah, I actually did like that Greek chorus. They did. I was going to say that as well, where they see Annie Lou walking through the streets, and Bullock and Al are kind of watching on, like, well, she's not very fast, but she walks with
purpose.
Yeah. That's quite Greek chorusy.
Yes.
But that's it. Just a couple of little random scenes about the theoretical nature of Deadwood, which ironically, when we actually introduce a theatre group into the show, it's not terribly great.
No. Well, it's pretty funny that this is the best episode and didn't feature the theatre group.
The theatre group, yeah.
And so did the other one that you gave a 10. The one you gave a 10 to didn't feature them as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like a black hole of fun.
I think they are a little bit.
In Deadwood, yes.
Oh, there was a random little scene with Blazanov.
Oh, it's great, is that?
It's really great.
That gets paid off in the next episode.
Oh, good, because I was thinking, alright.
Yeah.
Well,
it's because this is a two-parter.
Yeah.
And it sets up a lot of things that you need for the amazing next episode on Off Our Cinnamon, which is easily the highlight of season 3.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Would it surprise you to learn the next episode on Off Our Cinnamon is widely seen as the best episode of Deadwood there is?
Don't say that. I'm going to high hopes now.
I know. I didn't want to say it.
I remember you saying that like it was going to be our favourite episodes.
Yes.
I am looking forward to it.
Critically, it's seen as the best one because even though this is what's weird about this season of Deadwood, to continue it, is that this season is like the most acclaimed, is more acclaimed by some critics than season 2, because what happened was season 2 was more of the cross. Number 1 got mixed reviews, but was a big hit, and then season 2 got a lot of great reviews, and then season 3 there was a lot of hype going into it, and it has like a low 90% on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic. It got like across the board 10 out of 10s or 9s and stuff. It's really acclaimed season, which is really odd now because obviously
like
now
the weakest one.
It pales in comparison to 1 and 2. Well, number 1 got a lot of mixed reviews because of how different. Could you believe people said the dialogue was terrible at first?
Oh no! What?
I know. What? There were there's one bad review of season 3 that brings it down, and all the review says you can't click on read the. It says the scripts are inscrutable, but they always are with this show. Fans will love it. And it got like a 2 out of 10. People at first criticised the dialogue as being too showy. So some people criticised Ian McShane for giving a too over the top of performance.
Oh no!
I know.
No.
Yeah, it was.
I don't even know where to begin.
Season 1 got some mixed reviews, but then now it's seen as being obviously one of the great shows of all time. But yeah, season 3 has a really weird place in the show. But yes, anyway, join us for Unauthorized Cinnamon.